Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you very much. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to press that subscribe button. For those that are new to my channel, I post my videos on Thursdays and Sundays at 6:30 p.m. and I'm also going to interlink a picture of my Instagram because I try to post daily motivational stuff. So if you need a dose of daily motivation, make sure to follow my Instagram page, and I'm going to put the ads on here, and you can also find the link in the description bar below. So today I'm going to talk about knowing who you really are, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. When I started to understand what life is, or who we really are as, as spiritual beings that are having a human experience, the person that got me to understand this a bit more was Dr. Dispenza, who has studied a lot about how the mind works and that side of like psychology and cognitive studies kind of thing. Yeah, he's a very interesting guy, and you guys should look him up. How I then began to understand it is that if you can hear your thoughts and you can see your thoughts in terms of like visions that you have, clearly that means that you are not your thoughts, and you are the thing that is seeing your thoughts and seeing your visions, and that we are spiritual beings who have a soul, which is the intangible part of who we are, and who are living in a body, which is the human body, our vessel that allows us to experience life. So if there is something in here that is hearing you think and seeing you think, clearly you are not the things that you think about, or the thoughts that you have, or the visions that you have. You are the observer, the person that is doing the seeing and hearing. Then leads to the question that what is that thing that is seeing you and seeing your thoughts and hearing your thoughts? What is that thing? And the way I got to understand it is that that thing is what the Spirit of God is. That is the essence of who you are as a person, as a being, as a spiritual being. We are the human expression of God. We are a glimpse. Every single human being is a glimpse of God. For us to have taken this human form, the Spirit of God had to be modified in a way that allows it to exist in a human body. And I think the best way to explain this is visual representation. So this A4 piece of paper, I'd say, is the Spirit of God, the essence of who we are. And for this Spirit of God to exist in a human form, it had to be modified. It basically, it's like wanting to carry this piece of paper in your back pocket. All you have to do is modify it, basically fold it up until it's a size that you can fit in your back pocket. And just because this piece of paper has been modified or has been folded doesn't mean it's no longer an A4 piece of paper. It is still an A4 piece of paper. We are still the Spirit of God. It doesn't mean that the power, the ability, the divinity of God has been reduced. It just has been modified in a way that it can exist in a human body. The issue that has now arisen, I think maybe through our evolution, is that we have now gained a belief that we are our thoughts and we are our feelings. But if you are experiencing that, and if you can see that, then clearly you are not that. Although your thoughts can determine how your life direction goes, you are not the thought itself. As we have evolved, we have taken on a belief that God is outside of us, and that we have forgotten that we are a glimpse or an expression of God ourselves. And I think that stems from our inability to fathom exactly what or who God is. Because how can a person or a thing have a location, which is our Father who art in heaven, but also reside in every single human being and every living thing, and also be here and everywhere at the same time. Our human understanding cannot fathom that. So I think we have now taken on the misconception that God is out there and we have to seek for God out there, when actually God resides in every single human being, and we are a glimpse of God ourselves. This also interlinks with the whole law of attraction and how we are our creators, because clearly if we are a glimpse of God, then we have that creative power that God had when he created the world, or God has when he created the world. One of the things I emphasize about is watching the words that you say to yourself and the conversations that you have, and also being vigilant of the thoughts that you have, because if the world was created by words, then clearly, as we are a glimpse of God, our words are powerful. They are also creators. And for God to have created this world, he would have thought of this world. He would have thought of having human beings that are an expression of him. So if words created the world and thoughts created the world, then clearly we have to, the things that we have in our life is a reflection of our thoughts and a reflection of our words, the things that we say about ourselves, the conversation we have about ourselves and our beliefs. We misunderstand the fact that we are multi-diverse human beings. We are spiritual beings who have a soul and are having a human experience, or live or reside in a human body. I think the thing that people or religion talks about when it says we are the image of God is that it is talking about our spirit, which is the spirit of God is what is a reflection or the image of God. Hence why you need to keep your spirit, or you need to keep your soul clean. I believe when we were created, God breathed life into us. He left a part of himself in us, which is the spirit that makes up the multi-diverse thing that is a human being. The fact that we are creators in this whole law of attraction shows us that we can create the life that we want. We have the ability to create the life that we want, but also for us to remain as enlightened within our spirit, we also have to feed our soul, because our spirit speaks to our soul, and then our soul then communicates with the human body that is you, which is your personality, the person that you are. For our soul to be in tune with our spirit, we need to feed our soul, and we feed our soul through prayer, which I think then interlinks the whole need for us to pray, because God doesn't need anything from us. God has everything that he needs, but for us to increase how enlightened we are, we have to feed our soul through prayer. Thoughts create who we are. Our thoughts create who we are because it is that creative power that God has left within us. And the more you entertain a thought or a belief system, you bring more energy towards that, because as spiritual beings, that means we have an invisible aura, or a vibrational field around us, and we attract things to us. So the more you focus on things that are serving of you, the more you will attract those things. If you focus on things that are detrimental to you, you will attract more of those things. Hence why when people say, oh, there's always something that happens every month, and I have to, instead of saving my money, I have to put money into fixing that thing. And you bet every month something will turn up, because that's what you're proclaiming as a creative being who has that creative power that God has. You are bringing more of that into your awareness, into your experience. When we start to move from our thoughts and our feelings and holding them as who we are, and we move more into the spirit and into the essence of who we really are, you tap into that intuitive and creative power that God has. It allows us to be enlightened and with the ability to get divine guidance in terms of what we want in our life. And becoming more enlightened allows us to tap into that more often, so you get more insights about life, more guidance, and just a better understanding of our spirit and of who we are, and also the importance of the energy that you have, or the energy that is around you, the energy that you allow others to bring into your environment. The more we start to understand who we are, we then lean more towards the side of gratitude, the side of love, where I think you attract more of those of good energy and positive things into your life. Because if you're vibrating at a frequency of love, of gratitude, you attract things that are good, things that are nurturing, things that will help with your progression and evolution of life. If you tap more into that spirit, you're tapping more into love, because God is love. Start to appreciate the things in life that you have, the things that you would have taken for granted. In essence, the fact that you're still alive and still here shows that God is not done with you. There is something about you, or something within you, that you still need to bring out into the world, lives that you need to touch, love that you need to bring out into the world. And it also reminds us of being more in tune with that intuitive power, or that creative power, or the spirit of God creates a greater power within you, because you realize that you have more potential than you could possibly even imagine. If God could create a world and we are a glimpse of God, what more power do we have? What more talents and creativity do we have that we have not tapped into, or have not even unleashed yet? We are not even living or functioning above 10% of our brain capacity. Like, imagine how intuitive we could be, how creative we could be if we could tap in more into that. And I think that resides into understanding that we are spiritual beings, and understanding what a spirit actually is, and how it has evolved in this whole experience of life. You develop yourself and learn more about yourself. You inspire others to do the same. And imagine that collective energy, that collective power that resides in every single one of us. If we could bring more of that into the world, how great the world would be. And we search for God out there and neglect to understand that we are a glimpse of God, and God resides in every single one of us. And once I started to understand how this works and how this interlinks with me being a person and finding my purpose, it pushed me more to find what it is that I was created to do, and then learn about that and nurture that in a way that can inspire others to do the same, and create more of that creative power, and push other people into the direction of life that God intended them, that they're meant to. And I think once everyone is able to tap into that intuitive power, we can create a world that is beautiful. Because I think there is heaven on earth. There truly is. And you see that with the many worldly wonders that are there, that God has created, that this is a heavenly place. We just need to tap more into the spirit of who we are, the essence of who we are, and bring more of that into the world. And yeah, guys, once I started just understanding this, the world became a much more beautiful place. I had more gratitude for life experiences. And yeah, I thank you guys for coming back, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this video.